Someone just said something to you, in front of people, and every instinct in your body is screaming to fire back. Don't. Right now, millions of people are throwing their power away and they don't even know it. Every single day, someone gets cut down in a meeting room, gets dismissed at a dinner table, gets mocked publicly in front of the exact people whose respect they care about most. And what do? They react. They argue back, justify themselves, over-explain, or they blow up completely. And the second they do any of that, they lose. Not the argument, something far more expensive than that. They lose the room. They lose the frame. And here's what nobody tells you about that moment. People do not remember what was said to you. Let that land. They remember how you handled it. Your reaction is not just a response, it is a broadcast signal. It transmits in real time exactly how much psychological weight you carry. React with anger, and you've confirmed you can be triggered. React with panic, and you've handed the steering wheel to someone who doesn't deserve it. React with nervous laughter, and you've told the entire room you're not comfortable in your own skin. But there is a third option, one that most people never reach, not because they can't, but because no one ever showed them what it actually looks like. And once you see it, you cannot unsee it. Let's get something straight right now. When someone disrespects you, especially publicly, it is not random. It is not purely emotional. At its core, it is a test, a social probe. They are measuring your floor, trying to locate the bottom of your self-respect so they know exactly how far they can push before you crack. Some people do this deliberately, others do it purely on instinct, but the mechanism is identical either way. And every person in that room, whether they admit it or not, is watching to find out what your floor is too. That is the real game happening beneath the surface, and most people have absolutely no idea they're even playing it. When disrespect lands, people fall into one of two traps. The first, they escalate. Voice gets louder. Words come out fast and hot. They think this is power. It is not. It is a live demonstration that their nervous system can be hijacked by another person's words. You've just handed someone a remote control to your reactions. The second trap is quieter but equally damaging. They absorb it, say nothing, laugh it off to cut the tension, and then they go home and replay that moment at 2 a.m, furious at themselves, running through everything they should have said.
Both traps, same outcome. The other person wins, the room files it away, and you exit that interaction smaller than you walked in. Here is the reaction. I need you to actually absorb this, not just skim past it. You pause. You look at them directly. No smile, no scowl, no visible processing on your face. You let the silence breathe for 2 full seconds, and then you move on. You redirect the conversation, continue what you were doing, or simply let the moment dissolve as if it was not significant enough to interrupt your composure. That's it. That is the entire move. And before you dismiss it as passive, understand what real controlled silence from a composed person actually does to a room. It is one of the most psychologically destabilizing forces in any social environment, bar none. Here's why it works at a neurological level. The human brain is wired to expect a reaction. That expectation is almost involuntary. When someone fires at you socially, every person watching braces for the collision. They're already anticipating the impact. But when you don't give them one, the brain of every person in that room gets locked. It cannot close the loop. It keeps returning to the moment, asking, why didn't he react? What does he know that I don't? What am I missing here? You become the most compelling presence in that room by doing the least. No comeback, no matter how sharp, achieves that effect. Only composure does. And composure at that level reads as something most people have never actually seen up close. It reads as dominance. Now let's make this real. Knowing the move and running it under actual pressure are two completely different things. The second disrespect lands, your system spikes. Heart rate climbs, jaw tightens, adrenaline floods your chest. Your body says, react. You need to override that signal before it overrides you. Here's the exact sequence. 1 slow breath through the nose. Don't break eye contact. Don't look down. Looking down signals submission. Don't look away. That signals avoidance. Eyes stay level and forward. Let 2 full seconds pass. Count them internally if you need to. Then redirect. Continue what you were doing, or simply move forward. No explanation, no acknowledgement, no performance. Practice this in low-stakes moments, so when the real one hits, it's not a decision, it's a reflex. Here's what this actually looks like. Someone makes a joke at your expense in a group. The table laughs. You don't react to the laugh. You don't address the comment. Brief, direct eye contact with the person who said it. 2 seconds, completely unreadable. Then you turn back to the group and carry the conversation forward like it never happened. Someone cuts your sentence in half during a meeting, talks straight over you. You don't repeat yourself. You don't push back in that room. You observe. You recalibrate. You choose a better arena and a better moment. Someone goes personal, attacks your choices, your past, your status. Same sequence every single time. Pause, hold, move on. No heat, no theater, just composure, delivered clean. Here's what almost no one understands. The reaction in the moment is only the first half of the equation. The second half, what you do after, is what actually builds or destroys your long-term social position. You observe, you file. Every person who disrespects you has just handed you data about who they are, how they operate, and what they think of you. Don't discard that. Adjust your proximity to them. Reduce your availability. Not from anger. Anger is just another reaction that costs you energy you can't afford to spend, but from clarity. Cold, surgical clarity. They expect you to come back rattled. Come back the same, unchanged. That inconsistency with their expectation is more destabilizing than anything you could have said in that moment. Here's the real issue underneath all of this. The reason disrespect gets under your skin has less to do with the other person and more to do with what you believe, somewhere underneath the surface, about whether you deserve it. Every time you over-explain yourself to someone who didn't ask, every time you shrink to keep the peace, every time you laugh off something that actually cost you, you are training your own nervous system to accept that boundary being moved. And once that belief lives inside you, other people sense it before you even open your mouth. This is not about learning a technique. This is about becoming the kind of person whose identity is already settled, already decided, not easily moved because it doesn't require anyone else's reaction to stay standing. The next time it happens, and it will happen, you'll feel the spike, the pull to react, the burning need to defend yourself. Let it pass. 2 seconds. Hold. Move on. Not because you're passive, not because you're afraid, because your silence carries something that words simply cannot, and they'll feel it, even if they never